Finding the best SSD for PS5 is practically a must if you plan to add more games to your collection of PlayStation titles. The majority of PS5 owners currently only have access to the default internal capacity of about 660GB. Even with the November 2023 introduction of the new PS5 model, which has slightly greater storage than the original machine, regardless of the version of the console you hold, your internal storage might quickly fill up with the size of the greatest PS5 games, which are gradually getting bigger. So as games keep getting bigger and better, the good old PS5 SSDs from big name brands like Black, Seagate, Kingston and Corsair are actually getting way more budget friendly. And you know what's making this happen? The adoption of PCIe 5.0 standard. Without diving too deep into the tech stuff, just know that it's letting manufacturers whip up more affordable 1 to 2 terabyte drives, meaning us gamers can enjoy SSDs at a much cheaper price than before. So what better time than now to go through the top 5 SSDs for PS5 that we have thoroughly tested to maximize your PS5's performance. As always, you can check the pricing for any of these products in the description below. You could also find a more detailed analysis and comparison tool on our website truetechfinds.com. Now let's get started. Number 5. Corsair MP600 PRO LPX. Kicking things off with our favorite budget SSD, all of the requirements we have for a PS5 SSD are met by the Corsair MP600 PRO. It is a dependable NVMe M.2 solid state drive with a read speed that surpasses Sony's suggested minimum, with capacities ranging from 500GB to 8TB. It also provides the widest range of options for increasing the storage on your PS5 SSD. It also provides the widest range of options for increasing the storage on your PS5. This SSD, like all of our selections, is easy to install into the expansion slot of the console and comes with a heatsink already attached. Although the Corsair MP600's read and write speeds aren't as fast as the finest SSDs for the PS5, its specifications are still more than sufficient to provide outstanding performance in quick load times. Number 4. Adata XPG Gammix S70 Blade. For the PS5, the Adata XPG is an excellent low-budget option. It offers competitive pricing in comparison to its competitors and performs on par with some of the flagship models in our comparison. This drive tested out to have a staggering sequential read speed of 6,384 megabits per second when talking about speed. The Adata XPG Gammix S70 Blade doesn't mess around. It's hands down one of the speediest SSDs you can snag for your PS5. The SSD outpaces the console's built-in storage in loading heavy hitters like Death Stranding, Director's Cut and Horizon Forbidden West. With its lightning fast performance, we're convinced that the 1TB model is an unbeatable bang for your buck, especially if you're keeping an eye on that budget of yours, resulting in the 1TB version providing the best value for money per gigabyte when compared to the other available choices. Number 3. Black SN850X. When it comes to officially recommended SSDs for PS5, the Black SN850 is undoubtedly among the best solutions available. Known for being utilized by Mark Kearney, the architect of the system, the storage drive has a big heatsink to prevent thermal throttling from affecting your game's performance. This storage drive has a big heatsink to prevent thermal throttling from affecting your gaming performance when the console warms up, and can read data at a rate significantly faster than Sony's 5500 megabits per second limits. The Black has a list price that is significantly more than that of the MP600 and the 990 Pro. However, it has faster read rates than the two drives described above, which leads to slightly quicker loading times. While a few seconds here and there might not seem like much, they can soon build up in games that employ high resolution textures or have a lot of loading screens. Number 2. Seagate FireCuda 530. When it comes to the best SSDs for the PS5, the Seagate FireCuda 530 is still a tough act to follow. Even after over 3 years, with read speeds of up to 7300 megabits per second, it has a 176 layer Micron TLC flash memory paired with the very good Phison E18 controller for unmatched performance. During our testing, we discovered that the high performing drive could attain sequential read speeds of 6539 megabits per second, which still makes it one of the fastest models that you can install in the M.2 port of your PS5. The Seagate FireCuda 530 was very costly when it was first released. A new drive may be purchased at a far lower price than it was a few years ago, even if Gen 4.0 drives are still expensive in their maximum configurations. Because of this, the 1TB versions cost about $119 and the 2TB version costs around $155. The Seagate FireCuda 530's exceptionally high write endurance is what makes it stand out. Expect to see roughly 1275 TBW for 1TB and 2550 TBW for 2TB, which is significantly more than what many PS5 SSDs offer. Number 1. Samsung 990 Pro. The Samsung 990 Pro with a heatsink is the ideal PS5 SSD. There's no need to go any further. The 2TB variant is frequently available for less than $150 during promotions, and even when compared to some of the more costly options, the speeds are blazingly quick. Although the 990 Pro will make much more sense to most gamers because of its better sequential read and write speeds and comparable pricing, the 980 Pro is still a good alternative. Few other SSDs for the PS5 can match the Samsung 990 Pro's ability to maximize the potential of the NVMe Gen 4 technology. In comparison to the competition, this high-speed drive, which comes in 1TB and 2TB capacities, is incredibly impressive in every way. In our testing, we discovered that the Samsung 990 Pro could reach read and write speeds in our industry standard tests of 7465.49 megabits per second and 6887.68 megabits per second respectively. That's around a 50% faster drive than the brand's previous flagship model, which is a significant improvement. Both file transmission and loading times are quite good, approximately 10 gigabytes of data transferred to this NVMe SSD in less than 4 seconds during our tests, which is very quick. Each PS5 we mentioned have highlights of their own, from their impressive read-write speeds to the enticing price to storage options available. We really believe they are all great in providing excellent value to our console gamers. And that about wraps up the best PS5 SSDs of the year. We covered the highest rated SSDs specifically for PS5 from our testing, with prices that will suit a range of people. It definitely may feel great to have a pricey SSD, but remember what's more important is choosing the SSD that suits your gaming needs best. So think about what kind of games and the amount of memory you require, the speeds you want, and what budget would fit you the best. My best advice is to buy the one that suits your gaming requirements, as everyone is different. It's really all down to your personal choice. Also, don't forget that we have all the links to the products down in the description. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like, leave a comment on your favorite SSD from our list by putting a number in the comments, 1 to 5. I would love to see what's your favorite SSD. Subscribe for more tech picks like this. Now don't forget to have fun downloading a ton of games now, and it's game on. See you next time.